So I just wanted to share the scariest moment of motherhood that I've had so far. And it was when my baby had something called a BRUE or a BRUE. I heard it pronounced both ways while I was at the hospital. And I just wanted to share our experience and what happened so that hopefully it can help out somebody else in the future. When it happened, this little guy was about 2 months old, and I guess that's a pretty common time for it to happen. Usually babies are really young, so it's like 8 weeks and sooner. Basically what had happened was I left him and his sister on the floor. They were crying. I was getting bottles ready and he stopped crying. So I had anxiety at the time and I ran over as soon as he stopped crying. So it was only probably 30 seconds of him not crying. And I looked over at him and he was not moving and he was not the right color. So I went over and I picked him up and he was gray and pretty limp. So I started blowing in his face really hard and rubbing on his chest. And then he took a really big, deep breath and then just screamed. So obviously we got them both together and rushed over to the hospital, and the doctors did all the tests. They ran a bunch of blood work. They did an EKG and monitored him for 24 hours. I guess this is pretty standard procedure when something like this happens with a baby this little. And basically they explained that it was a BRUE or a BRUE, which is a brief resolved unexplained event. And basically what this is when a little one's breathing, color, or muscle tone, periodically, shortly, briefly changes and then goes back to normal and resolves itself, and there are no other findings. They explained that 99% of the time, these babies go on to have no other issues and grow up to be perfectly healthy, active little babies. And thankfully, in my case, and my little boy's case, that has been our experience. He hasn't had any other major health issues since and has been meeting all of his milestones. Here is a picture of him now at almost 6 months old, smiling and doing his own thing. I cannot wait to get back to him. So I hope that this sharing of experience has helped somebody out there to feel more educated or less alone, because I literally didn't know what it was, and experiencing something like that as a first-time mom can be incredibly scary, especially when you don't know what's happening and you just come over and you find your baby in a way that you know they aren't normally. And so I don't leave little girl out of this video. Here's a picture of her now. Thankfully, we didn't have any issues with her as far as that goes when she was younger. But she does have acid reflux, so if anybody wants to hear about that experience, let me know in the comments and I will gladly share.